starting with, I mean, I got to say, you won WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 40.
What's up, WWE Universe? Clash Zone Media here, bringing you the latest match updates and breaking news. Hit the bell and stay tuned. The night began like any other on SmackDown. Bright lights, loud energy, and fans buzzing with excitement. Cody Rhodes had just wrapped up an impassioned in-ring promo, speaking about perseverance, leadership, and the responsibility he carries as one of WWE's top champions. He shook hands backstage, signed autographs, and moved through the halls with the warmth and confidence fans have come to expect. No one watching, inside the arena or at home, had any reason to suspect that something deeply personal and unexpectedly intense was about to unfold. Cody himself certainly didn't know that the night would take a sharp turn, one that would change the trajectory of his story and ignite a rivalry unlike anything we've seen in recent years. A dangerous shift in Drew McIntyre. While Cody interacted with crew members and fans, Drew McIntyre watched from the background with an expression that hinted at frustration and unresolved tension. This wasn't the Drew we were used to, the focused competitor chasing the next big challenge. This was a man battling something internal, something that had been building quietly over weeks. Reports had circulated that Drew felt overshadowed, overlooked, and frustrated by the opportunities Cody had received since returning to WWE. But until this night, no one realized just how deeply those feelings had taken root. Drew wasn't acting out of sudden impulse. It felt like something long-standing had finally boiled over. The parking lot encounter. Cody made his way toward his tour bus, likely thinking about the rest of the evening, maybe even about heading home. The parking lot was mostly quiet, the kind of quiet that makes every sound echo a little louder. As he approached the steps of his bus, Drew appeared nearby, stepping into view with a stern expression that suggested this wasn't going to be a casual conversation. The atmosphere instantly shifted. Cody turned, startled, sensing something serious in Drew's posture and tone. What began as a confrontation built on resentment and pent-up emotion quickly escalated into a heated physical exchange between two men whose paths had collided in the worst possible way. Tensions explode. Cody, caught off guard, attempted to calm the situation, offering to talk things out, but Drew was too far gone in his frustration. Words were traded, emotions sparked, and in seconds the conflict escalated into a chaotic, uncontrolled brawl. It wasn't the kind of polished, choreographed fight fans see in the ring. It was messy, emotional, and raw. Cody tried to defend himself, pushing back and swinging on instinct, while Drew's anger fueled every moment of the confrontation. Crew members shouted for help as equipment rattled. Bodies collided with the side of the tour bus, and the situation became too intense for anyone nearby to handle on their own. Security rushes. Within moments, security personnel sprinted across the lot, pulling the two men apart with effort. Cody was shaken, breathing heavily, trying to collect himself after the sudden attack. Drew continued shouting in Cody's direction, clearly overwhelmed by frustration and resentment he had kept bottled up far too long. Even while being restrained, his anger didn't subside easily. The incident left everyone rattled. This was no traditional storyline scuffle. It felt like a genuine emotional breaking point for both superstars. Security's intervention prevented things from escalating even further, but the damage, both physical and emotional, had already been done. Medical personnel. Take over. After being separated, Cody was guided to a medical team who immediately started checking him over. Though shaken and visibly in pain, he remained conscious and responsive, insisting he was fine even as staff urged him to slow down and breathe. Brandi Rhodes arrived moments later, worry written all over her face as she moved to her husband's side. The scene was heavy, not because of any extreme injury, but because of the emotional weight of seeing Cody in distress after an unexpected attack from someone he once considered a friend. The medical team recommended further evaluation, and Cody was escorted away for precautionary checks, the night suddenly becoming far more serious than anyone expected. The backstory behind the breakdown. As the footage circulated backstage, discussions quickly began about Drew McIntyre's behavior in the weeks leading up to the incident. Several sources revealed that Drew had been struggling with a sense of being sidelined and undervalued, watching opportunity after opportunity slip through his fingers, while others, especially Cody, were elevated to the spotlight. Drew's frustration didn't stem purely from competition. It was layered with feelings of missed chances, past hardships, and the belief that he wasn't being recognized for all he had sacrificed to rebuild his career. Cody's success unintentionally fueled Drew's anger, creating a silent rivalry that finally erupted in the parking lot. The WWE Universe reacts. When word of the incident spread, the reactions online were immediate and intense. Fans debated whether the altercation was planned, how serious Cody's condition might be, and what consequences Drew would face for letting his emotions spiral so far out of control. Some fans expressed anger at Drew, others sympathy, recognizing that his character has always carried a complicated emotional history. What united the entire fan base, though, was shock. No one expected the night to end with such a dramatic confrontation outside the ring. As WWE remained silent in the hours following the incident, speculation only grew. The fallout. Inside the arena. Inside the building, the live crowd was stunned as announcers relayed the situation. You could feel the energy shift instantly from excitement to confusion and concern. Fans pulled out their phones, searching for information, trying to understand what had transpired just moments away from where they sat. Some were in disbelief, others angry, and many concerned about Cody's well-being. The match that followed played out almost like background noise in comparison to the whispers spreading through the arena. Everyone wanted to know what would happen next. A rivalry taken too far. The confrontation created a turning point not only for Cody and Drew individually, but for the entire landscape of SmackDown. Cody, a symbol of resilience and hope, now finds himself recovering from an attack he never saw coming. Drew, once admired for his determination and warrior spirit, now stands at a dangerous crossroads, one defined by frustration and decisions he cannot take back. Their paths have collided in a way that guarantees this situation won't be easily resolved. It doesn't just set up a rivalry. It sets up a story rooted in emotion, betrayal, and the painful reality of what happens when ambition turns into resentment. What happens next? Now fans everywhere are left wondering about the next chapter. Will Cody return stronger and more determined than ever? How will Drew respond to the consequences of his actions? Will WWE management intervene publicly, or will this evolve into one of the most personal storylines in modern wrestling? The only certainty is that this moment marks the beginning of a deeply emotional conflict. Cody Rhodes is not someone who stays down for long, and when he returns, whenever that may be, Drew McIntyre will be forced to confront the fallout of everything that happened.